Hello, welcome to Free Your Mind Reviews. This is Chris Johnson with a review of the Goldfinch. So I saw the Goldfinch last night at 34th Street. Barely anybody there. And I remember when the trailer came out. The first trailer came out. It was really showcased as this is gonna be the award movie of the season. And then it was shot by Deakins. It's from the director of Brooklyn. I'm like, okay, all right, let's go. Then you start hearing word from the film festival that it's a piece of garbage, and I was like, okay, we'll see. But I like to make my judgments on my own words and out of my own feelings. So I went to go see the Goldfinch yesterday. And now I don't know if I'd go with piece of garbage or worst movie of the year like I've been hearing from other people, but it was definitely not appealing, definitely not entertaining, definitely not nearly as emotional as I think it thinks it is. And a lot of it has to do with just how the story is told. Not just the structure is a problem. I've heard that. Actually, I didn't really hear that much. I've heard it after I've seen it, but watching the movie, and it's not even that it. I love nonlinear structure. As a fan of Christopher Nolan, as a fan of Quentin Tarantino, and I love the way those two guys in particular like to do it. But the nonlinear story structure did not work for this film at all. It made it helped make it a jumbled mess to me. You would have spend 40 minutes of the film with the kid, the young version of Theo. Theo's the lead character whose mom dies in a terrorist. I think it's a terrorist attack. It's an explosion, but they didn't really. I don't feel like they explained it well enough early in the movie. So you get 40 minutes of the little kid, and then you'll get 5 minutes of the adult, and then we'll jump right back to the little kid for most of the movie, and then the adult side gets the third act. And I feel like it really hurt the the emotional aspect that the movie was trying to sell me, because so many things would happen in a way after the fact where you're supposed to see the emotion, you're supposed to see the pain in the characters, but because we didn't see the actual event, and because we really didn't get to relate to the main characters before the event, you don't really feel it. You don't feel the intended emotion that the film wants to convey. So it felt a little cold to me. A lot of people like to use cold for like Chris Nolan or David Fincher, but when I need to feel something in their films, I feel it. If I need to feel the horror at the end of Seven, I feel the horror of Seven. If I need to feel what Cooper's going through in Interstellar, I do. But when it was time to feel emotional for Theo, it just didn't work. Because the movie's so distant, but it wants you to cry. It wants to try to hold your hand, but those will take it away. Like, get off me. It just. So I'm just sitting there, just blank at the screen. And about 2/3 into the movie, not even halfway through, 2/3 into the movie, I was asking myself, what in the world is this movie about? Because I couldn't figure it out at that point. I know it was supposed to be about this kid who went through a trauma. I know it was supposed to be about uh, this painting, which really doesn't play that much into the movie until really the third act. But you don't see it. You don't feel it. You don't care. You're told eventually, but I don't just want to be told. I want to be in it. I want to not just feel it, but become it. Especially with a dramatic film such as this, and with it being so long, 2 hours and 29 minutes. And we've been seeing a lot of longer movies this year: Avengers Endgame, It Chapter Two, Midsummer, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. But I don't feel the length. For me, I personally do not feel the length in any of those movies, and yet I feel the length in this film, and it's shorter than almost all of those movies except for one. It really drags. It gives you relationships, and it just says, hey, here's this relationship. This person feels like this to him now, without really doing the work to make you buy any of it. So in the end, you don't buy anything. Probably would have worked better as a mini series on Amazon Prime or Netflix or HBO, because I wasn't buying anything this film was selling. And the actors are trying the best they can. I don't know if there's a bad performance per se. I don't know. I can understand everybody talking about my boy Finn's accent, yet he ends up being the only spark in the movie. Because even young Theo, I understand like me, he's like distant and quiet, but I don't even see the pain that goes into the quietness. I just see a quiet person, and that became a problem for Theo as a whole, the main character. It just, I wouldn't even call it a disappointment or anything like that. It's just I have to be completely honest. I know it would be a disappointment to them and to the filmmakers and the actors, but for me, the emotion wasn't there. The narrative was a mess. The edit was strange. The pace was dull. The pace was dull. The pace was off. And I like slow movies. The pace was just, all right, get to the point. And then it doesn't even get to the point when it's time to get to the point. It's just a really jumbled up mess. It's a shame. Uh, but those are the breaks. It happens. So it happens every year, really. When you get that, you get a couple of films that you think are gonna be, transcendent, or like at least this is great. This is gonna be one of the best of the year, and it falls off a cliff. And unfortunately, the Goldfinch fell off a cliff. So this is Chris Johnson with Free Your Mind Reviews, and have a good one.